around 12 hours time. It's same time every week. Sorry, I say 12 hours. It's going to be in 13 hours. 13 hours time. So 13 hours from this message should be the Pegasaur Cup. And here we go. We're getting into our next series, our next matchup. And this morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Killer's Mile, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And this morning, in the top right-hand corner of Killer's Mile, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran player himself, representing Team Liquid from South Korea. It is Kyor. Opening up with the proxy Rax. Let's go. The Rax has been thrown down. Now, bearing in mind there's only one SCV, so it's only a singular proxy Rax. I believe this should be for a bunker alongside this. It's going to be proxy Reaper with a bunker. We can actually get behind the mineral line. We can delay some economy here of MaxPax, and Kyor can look to get some economic damage early on. Oh boy. Here we go. Meanwhile, MaxPax does go for the probe scouts. He will go up the ramp, and he will confirm that the Rax is missing. The Rax is nowhere to be found. Both gases have been taken. This is looking suspect already. Now, there is a chance that the Rax is back at home somewhere else, but like, it could be in the natural. It could be at the third base location. Not uncommon to hide your Rax back at home. We'll see how he responds. There's that Nexus. SCV is moving in. SCV is moving in. Your big shout to Slammer in the chat. God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Hope you had a good ladder session. Hope the Slammer had a good time with the hammer. In the jammer. No. Hope you had a great time. Thanks for the raid, and welcome one and all to the May Mayhem, as the bunker is going to be thrown down. Was delayed by a couple of seconds there, and the probe is on that SCV, but that's what the Reaper is for. The Reaper will soon arrive, will zone that probe away, and can MaxPax delay that bunker? Can he deny the bunker? Oh! This probe is going to be targeted down. Bunker is on the way. Reaper does head into the mineral line. What else rhymes with Slammer and Ham? What do we... But yeah, there's just not enough progression here on the bunker. It was delayed sufficiently enough, and MaxPax, he holds, he defends, he shuts out the bunker. Ideally, the bunker finishes, and then you can go into the bunker with said Reaper. You can deny mining at the mineral line for as long as possible, but last that is all denied, and so far, this proxy not really paid for itself. Ooh. MaxPax, he moves out. MaxPax, he moves out across the map. Probes are being pulled, probes are going down. Gets one probe kill so far. Sorry, 2 in total. 2 workers in total. Back at home, we have the CC on the high ground. Factory's on the way. And MaxPax, he does defend. Kyor is going to be zoned away. And yeah, a bit of a shaky start here for Kyor. He invested quite heavily here into his proxy, and what did he get for it? 2 probe kills. He got 2 probe kills. He did deny some mining time in the main base. He did force the boys to be pulled. That is true. There was a little bit of damage dealt there as well, but not ideal here for Kyor. Likewise, following this up with a committed mine drop. 2 mines, 4 in total on the way. Kyor here will soon move out. There it is. Does commit. 4 mines on the right hand side, 2 Reapers towards the left. And we'll see if he can break through. When it comes to the defensive position here, MaxPax is going into a blink based opener. How many gates? We have 2 gates in the main, and we have 2 more gates here on the low ground. 4 gate blink Stalker. Okay, we're seeing it quite a lot here tonight. I mean, 4K Blink is a bit of a rare build nowadays, has fallen out of favor, fallen out of the meta, but I say that with Hero, he went for it earlier, and MaxPax doing it here as well. To be fair, both times we saw 4K Blink was on Killer's Mile. Ooh. Stalker goes down. Brutal pick up there on the Stalker. Likewise, 3 pro kills as well. Not bad. Curie does get some damage, but can he defend back at her? No, Hero going 4-gate blink is one thing, but MaxPax, he for a time had the best 4-gate blink in the world. He was an animal. And not too long ago, that was what, 2023? Coming into early 2024. Was almost exclusively what MaxPax did in this matchup. 4-gate blink. And you could see it coming and it wouldn't matter. Of course, players over time got better at defending against it, which is why it fell out of favor in the meta, because it was so prevalent and so common. Then fell out of fashion. And what do we have to defend? We have one bunker here on the low ground, one tank in the main, but only one tank between both bases. And MaxPax does blink in. The other first tank is going to be targeted down. Gets one. Tank falls, and there's nothing left. there's just nothing here. There's a handful of vanilla marines. Another tank has arrived. The boys are being pulled, but the defensive position here is just lacking. The numbers just are not there. Max actually rotates over. The stalkers are very low, but still alive. Medevac goes down. Max actually going for the dive. Oh, nice repairs. Does buy some time. Yeah, the repairs are good enough. So far, Curie's holding on. He's holding on. He's defending. Tanks, they rotate back into the main. A bit of a misread here. Cure, he reads this as a rotation into the main, but it's a rotation into the mineral line at the natural. Yeah, so Cure out of position. Marines are going down. Stim is done in 3 seconds. The boys are being pulled. Oh my god, one stalker falls. Gets one. Oh, that's, Jesus, the efficiency. Two stalkers. 2 stalkers have gone down for a tank. 12 Marines, 9 SCVs. Oh no, we're not done. We're not done. But this time, Stim is complete. 1 shot's the first tank. 2 shots the bunker. There's Stim, but there's barely any Marines. There's barely any Marines left. The Stim does not matter. Boys are being pulled. Dives on the next tank. There's 1 tank left. And Max actually just goes further in. Further into the bases. Onto that final tank as well. And, oh god, nice round. Nice positioning there with the SimCity, with the SCVs. Curie does punish some of those stalkers. But the problem is that was crippling damage. The problem is Curie no longer has any tanks. He has no pushing power. And MaxPax back into the main. Takes down the reactor. Oh. The reactor pulls back to the low ground. Oh. Defends the army. And behind this, MaxPax just enjoying a better economy. He's on 3 bases. We have the Bay on the way. We have +1 charge as well, working towards charge, working towards Colossus. Goes back into the main. Cure is still contained. Now breaking out. Let's go. Now, what's important is that when it came to that final fight in the main base, MaxPax did bleed out a lot of stalkers. And that means he has less to threaten Cure. The stalker count has been lessened. It's not really there anymore. With that, Cure can take out on fight. And he's also free to drop across the map. So we'll see if we can force a recall. There we go. Does recall back home. Recalls into the main. And Cure can now expand. Thanks to the recall, thanks to this drop, he forces MaxPax back. Can now expand, claim the 3rd base. Also rough stuff for Cure, but he's still in this. Oh, brutal snipes. And snipes on the sentries. Cure back in between the bases. At the same time, prison into the natural base of Cure. But there are reinforcements. Cure defends. Does defend nicely. Explosive production has begun. Curie turns back around. Whew, okay, and after a tense early game, we have a back and forth. We have a back and forth here. Curie now establishing his third base. He's now taking up in towards Ghosts and Vikings. I will say that Curie's army is still a little bit lacking. He needs a little bit of time to actually get into his Ghost and Viking production. Until then, though, MaxPax is already embracing Colossus. Colossus are amassing. He's already getting up to 4 base saturation. Zealots are building up as well. Likewise, MaxPax also needs a little bit more time here for his upgrades. Range is still on the way. Meanwhile, MaxPax does drop back into the main, gets 2 SCVs. Ooh, that's going to be the death of the Prism. Nice cleanup. Zealot take the third. Here's in position. Here he's in position. Does scan, is aware of the main army, is aware it's not going to be Storm, it's going to be Colossus. Now making more Vikings. Oh, as Curie moves out, MaxPax moving in. Nice last second split. Does split at the last second. MaxPax trying to delay. But Curie, he's for the most part dealing with this. Does handle the run bys. Curie moving out. Drop into the third. Oh, we got out! Form dynamic goes down. Massive pickoff. Yeah, that was not it. Max actually shuts down the drop and does move in. Nice missile here on the Colossus. The Vikings doing what they can for the Colossus. They do stand strong. Nice force fields. Just loading back the army. So much wasted DPS here. So many Marauders just caught in the back line. And MaxPax here overwhelms across the map. 13 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, it does get into the mineral lines. Curie, he races back home. 18 SCVs. And MaxPax, he barely defended back at home thanks to the force fields, thanks to the Sim City. And across the map, he just punishes the move out. 19 worker kills. Curie, he just loses the entire mineral line. His economy is just in shambles. And MaxPax, he breaks out. He breaks out, brings everything together. He's on 4 Colossus. Curie, he was recovering in this game. He was bouncing back. Nice blink, avoids the missile. And MaxPax just commits. Oh, not enough Zealots though, so he doesn't really have much support. And MaxPax here overextends. Where are those charge lots? Colossus is going to be going down. He gets 1, he gets 2. Very nice catch here from Curie. Yeah, MaxPax, he got too excited. Losing all 3, losing all 4 Colossus. Oh my god. 4 Colossus go down. And that was a brutal fight for MaxPax. Now, on the one hand, that was brutal. Like Curie, he dominated that fight. But the economy. Yeah, the economy is what matters. Curie, he's down to 43 SCVs. That was all he had. He cannot sustain himself. And MaxPax will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Y'all, feels bad, man. You win that final fight, but alas, you lose the war. As again, Curie, he had no economy. He had 40 SCVs. He was essentially all in. And even though that was a good fight, the problem was that MaxPax, he can afford those losses. He was rich enough. He can afford those losses. Curie could not afford those trades. GG, well played. And with that, MaxPax takes a lead. MaxPax does take a lead. Now we'll see if Curie can recover, bounce back, and force the ace match. Let's go. And again, for the most part, MaxPax was playing really well that game. We did see, though, that towards the end, maybe misjudging the fight. We did mention that because MaxPax had so few Zealots, he actually took a really rough fight across the map, despite having a larger army, a very fragile army. In lead up, though, I mean, did amazing damage with his 4-gate Blink Stalker, likewise able to get an economic lead, economic advantage, and gain that map control. But here we go. Now stepping into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. down in this series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover. It is a Cure. Hello. As once again, the SCV does move out. Not as fast as last game, but SCV moves out nonetheless. From here, the goal would be to go for the eBay block, as the Rax is back at home, and the SCV does sneak in. And again, this is just to disrupt the economy, just to disrupt the opener. eBay's on the way. MaxPax moving in with the probe scouts. And he will confirm the Rax is back at home this time. No proxy. Bearing in mind that last game, Cure he did initiate with the proxy Reaper. And it fell on its face. The initial bunker was denied. I mean, again, like the early game was very much so in favor of MaxPax last game. Which is why it was impressive that Cure he recovered. He was able to recover, able to bounce back. There were definitely some better fights for Cure. I will say that. Ooh, as he does force the unnatural natural. Okay. Let's go. So a couple of things. First things first, as you can see, because this eBay was scouted so late, there was just so much progression on it. Too much progression. When I say progression, so much HP. The more you build, the higher health there is here on the building eBay. So because there's just so much HP on this eBay, forced to expand elsewhere. It will just take too long to focus down and to kill the eBay. Your base will just be so heavily delayed. So MaxPax forced to expand elsewhere. And because of that, he's exposed, right? Defending your main and your third base with this entire area in between can be difficult. Your bases are spread out, they are isolated from each other. Because of that, we do see a lot of players defend with Stargate play. You could open Stargate, go Oracle. Yep, there we go. Speaking of, this is a really common response. Now, the reason why is because Oracles don't care about terrain. If you open up with Stalkers, well, your Stalkers and Adepts and your ground army has to rotate back and forth between these two bases. Oracles don't care. Oracles, they just go for the direct, shortest path between your bases back and forth to keep up with Hellions, to keep up with aggression. Speaking of, it is going to be reactored Hellion here out of Cure, CC on the high ground, and again, these Hellions have options. They can threaten one base or the other. They can rotate between them. Hellions, they're speedy boys. So we'll see what Cure can get done. We'll see if MaxPax can keep up. This should be an Oracle opener out of MaxPax. Yep, there we go. Oracle's on the way. And again, this should just be used defensively. Assuming that Cure would be aggressive. There are variations of this where you go for the eBay block, you force the unnatural natural, then you just play a standard game. You just play a standard game, you go into mine drops, you go into a natural base. You don't bother with Hellions. But Cure, he's bothering. Cure, he's committing. Cure does rotate. The Stalker will scout. Oracle responds. And already Hellion's taking a lot of damage. There we go. One Hellion already goes down. And you can see the Oracle can chase. The Oracle can chase this. Zoning Cure away. Does get the revelation. Oh no, we can heal up. We can heal. No. Regardless, MaxPax, he defends. He defends nicely here. Curie's forced all the way back. Behind this, we're following this up with a 3-1-1 setup. Oh my god, very aggressive. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I don't see? No starport. Typically, when we have a 3-rack setup like this, you can see that the factory was used initially for a Cyclone, then into add-on swap, and insanely fast stim. Fast stim, fast marauder production, Marines are amassing as well. Because the starport is delayed, there's no drop play. Because the starport is delayed, we have extra Marines. This screams at 2-base all-in. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Hellions are still being active. Probes, they do line up. Oh my god, 3 Hellions, a one-shot. Yeah, 7, 8 probes going down. Oracle out of position. And MaxPax's economy here is crippled. 8 probes going down. Ay, ay, ay. Again, all it takes is 3 Hellions to one-shot a worker. And the workers were lining up. So nice damage there out of Cure. Very nice start. And again, it's going to be the 1-2 punch. Cripple the economy. Then move in with the push, with the all-in. Now he still has to wait. He has to wait for the upgrades to finish up. Waiting for stim, waiting for combat shields. So until then, Cure, he has to just build up. Gather up his forces. MaxPax, likewise, he moves out. Remember, these are vanilla Stalkers. Because the Stargate opener blink is late. So late blink here out of MaxPax. But he knows how important it is to slow down a push. So he's popping up his chest. Gets a Marine. Gets 2 Marines. Every little bit helps. Every little bit counts. So it picks off 2 Marines, doesn't lose any Stalkers. Oh, he scouts. Yeah, he sees everything. Yeah, he does confirm. He sees the 3 Raxes. He sees how late the starport is. He knows. He knows an early sim timing is coming. There's a lot of pressure on MaxPax. Oh, bleeds out a Stalker. Bit of miscontrol. 1 Stalker goes down. Ideally, MaxPax wants to bait the army into the stasis. Behind this, getting his third base up and running. Blink is outdone, of course. Getting into charge, into +1. Backup stasis on the way. And Cure looks like he's waiting for his medevacs before he pushes. So he's waiting for his medevacs. He's waiting even longer. MaxPax, he's just content to just bide his time. Contain his opponent. There's the first stim. He does bait it out. So Father controls on point. Takes down the bunker. Ooh, bleeds out one of the Stalkers. It does mess up towards the end. Drop gets spotted. MaxPax, he knows. Oh! Oh my god. Speaking of, here, very nicely done. Baits out the stasis. Meanwhile, MaxPax does intercept. Warping back at home. MaxPax racing on back. Does race back, does warp in time. Ooh. So it's away the medevacs. Cure, he breaks out. Cure, he breaks out. The boys are being pulled, as you mentioned earlier when we said it does scream 2 base all in. Well, yeah, that's 2 base all in. we pull the boys. It's all or nothing for Cure. Now he has medevacs. Now he has stim. Scan reveals stasis. Stasis right behind this. Does get baited out. Once again, nice control out of Cure. Scans, sees the other stasis. Does pull back the SCVs. So far, nice control. Takes down the sentry, breaks through those zealots. He's getting on top of the Stalkers. He's almost there. And that barely does break through. MaxPax has to pull away. Actually, does pull the boys. It does pull his own workers. Wait for an extra warp in. Charge ults are on the way. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for MaxPax. He needs more time, needs more warp ins. Oh, nice splits against the mines. MaxPax pulling away. Cure still has a massive army. Cure, he is doing it. He is breaking through. Takes down the 3rd base. Once again, baits out the stasis. Cure, he's crazy. He sees everything. He's crazy. Oh my god. Winter Mines have yet to reset. And MaxPax does have his first immortal. Second immortal's on the way. MaxPax pulling back. Remember, his opponent's all in. Cure, he's down to 24 SCVs. He has to do more damage. He needs more. Another stasis goes up. Cure, he kites well. Kites well against those zealots. He just has mainly Marauder. Jeez, so many Marauders here for Cure. Kites back against the zealots. Getting to the Immortal. The Immortal should be targeted down. Nice pickup. Takes down the Immortal. There's one left. But Cure, he's running out of steam. Again, this all-in has been lasting quite some time. And he's running out of units, and Marauders are oversteered. Medevacs are running out of energy as well. Ay, ay, ay. And MaxPax, he's holding, he's surviving. Takes down 2 more Marauders. And again, that Immortal doing so much damage to the back line. Takes down another. And there's nothing back home. Like, there's nothing to come back to. Cure down to 30 SCVs. MaxPax, he is re-expanding. And with that, the all-in has failed. The all-in has failed. I mean, again, Cure, he traded well. Like, he did well for himself, breaking the 3rd base and cleaning up all the zealots, getting on top of the Immortals, but he didn't quite get on top of the Stalkers. Didn't quite break the back of MaxPax. He was close. He was so close. Now he's gearing up for wave 2. Let's get that second wave ready. Again, there's no macroing out of this. Like, there's no getting into like a 3rd CC and making workers from here. Like, no shot. It's all or nothing. He doesn't see it. Oh my god, Stasis goes off. Does catch 2 Marauders. Stasis does connect. Here looking for a way in. The blink control is on point. MaxPax building up more immortals, more sentries, more force fields. Takes down another Widowmine. Another Widowmine goes down. Slowly pushing forward. 9 shots going up, only on a handful of zealots. The force fields they do send him away. And a better engagement here for MaxPax. Takes away the Marauders, avoids the mine shot, takes down some of the medevacs. Well, we have DTs! And DTs in the mix as well. They force out more scans, and MaxPax, he will overwhelm. GG gets called. MaxPax, he shuts down the all-in, and MaxPax will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew, oh my god. GG, well played. Again, Cure, he did commit to the all-in, and again, initially he was doing well for himself. I was so impressed by his ability to deal with those stasis traps, to bait them out as well, time and time again. He did break the expansion, but time was on MaxPax's side, and again, credit to MaxPax for slowing down the all-in, for taking his time, kiting back, not fully committing, not fully engaging, bleeding out zealots, yes, but mainly zealots in these fights, affordable losses or expendable losses for MaxPax. With that, he was able to preserve his stalkers, more importantly, and preserve most of his immortals. With that, GG. GG well played. Eventually, Cure, he just ran out of steam. He ran out of units. Eventually, he just could not maintain a set all-in. And with that, MaxPax does take the series. Whew. Does take the series here, and now we're stepping into our next best of 3. Getting to our next matchup here. Up next is going to be Cure in his next series. It's going to be Cure up against Hero in another Terran vs. Protoss.